Hey, I'm Jenny. In this video, I'm going to share with you how exactly energy healing such as Reiki works. How does energy work? So I will start with saying that I am Reiki 1 and 2 certified, but I'm not going to stick to the Reiki point of view. So if you are a Reiki master, this is in no way to say this is how it is. This is how all Reiki is. Because I think I went to Reiki and became attuned to it while also being in Kyle Gray's angel team and being attuned to archangels, with also a background of 20 plus years of yoga and meditation and a background in all kinds of other spirituality and studies, that I think when Reiki was presented to me, it was both familiar. It was really just familiar. And my teacher, she kept saying like, okay, you got that. Like she could just see that it was so nice. It was because it was during COVID, it was one-on-one teaching. And she could just see that I was picking things up quickly. And she was also really amazed that some of the visualizations that I saw were spot on with what other Reiki practitioners see. And so I wanted to give you that background before I kind of explain how I think energy healing works. And so there's lots of explanations out there as to how someone can connect with somebody else without physically being in a room with them. And there is like quantum physics explanations. There are people that call it a matrix, a divine matrix, or a divine field. You'll hear maybe other psychics talk about, I feel something in the field, or I feel something in the energy. And I think the best way to explain how this kind of energy healing works is through a web. And this is an old way of explaining. It's actually interesting because it came to me in meditation and then I looked it up, and this was several Native American indigenous cultures saw us in this web of life. And then later I heard my favorite poet Joy Harjo speak about, in a meditation, seeing that we are all connected through a web of light. And that's exactly how I see it, and it's exactly how it works. So if you put yourself in the right kind of meditative state, so before I give somebody healing, I will sit in meditation until I really feel a shift, that I am here. I use something called tuning in from Kyle Gray. I also use the skills my Reiki teacher taught me, and some other things I've picked up along the way. And I'll really ground myself, but also be open to what I like to call God energy. So I think, all energy and all healing is nothing to do with the person. I'm just a vehicle, like I'm just a vessel, and I am able to tune myself in and open myself up to have that light pour into me for me to share it with somebody else. That's really at the basis of what I do. It's just opening myself up and allowing myself to be used as a vessel. And then from there, I am able to connect with a person energetically, no matter how far away they are, through our heart chakras, because I really feel that is like the portal to everything, to God energy. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. There's lots of people who are more of a chakra expert than I am, who will talk about like the heart center is the beginning to opening yourself up to all the other higher chakras. And so I see this heart-to-heart connection, and then I'm able to connect with this person's physical and spiritual body and use my Reiki symbols, but also use what I know from angels to find out exactly what they need. And it's interesting because every person's energy is different and their angels and guides are different. I have a lot of animal guides come through, I think because my first spirit guide I saw was one of my animal guides. And I'm very in tune with animals in general. And so I usually have an animal come through, but I'll give the healing. The Reiki takes, as long as it needs to take, and I let the energy work through me, and I'll see it going to different parts of the person's body. Sometimes it'll focus on a certain chakra. And I'll get little hints of, this person has a lot on their mind, they're having a hard time making a decision, or this person has a swollen gland in their throat, or this person's knee is troubling them. And then I just, I'm just there as a vehicle, really, guiding the Reiki. And then at some point, angels and guides of that person will connect with me and tell me what this person needs, and whether it be a vitamin or a crystal to work with or a prayer to say or whatever. And then I continue to work with the Reiki, and then I let the Reiki go where it needs to go. I let that continue, and I usually do a little card reading as confirmation for the person. And then I cut the connection. So it's not that like I'm severing that connection forever, because I do give Reiki to my own family, but it's like I'm tuning what we call tuning myself out. So it's like if I were to stay open to this energy all the time, I would be a drained wreck. And that's, what happens to a lot of people who have healing gifts, who don't know how to channel it. Some of them turn to like substance abuse, and others will turn to just trying to distract themselves. They have a frantic energy. It's like everything is because they're being used as a channel anyway, and they're just not knowing how to use it properly. And that's really how the distance healing works. It works through energy. It's like we're all connected through this source, this web of light, through our hearts. And this is all coming from, God. And it's this deep connection, and we are all just energy. And we all have an energetic body. That's where our chakras are. And through energy healing, I'm able to connect with that. And distance doesn't matter, because, this web can travel as far as it needs to travel. And hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it answers that question. I had quite a few people ask exactly how does energy healing work? And why? Why does it work? How does it work? How do you do it? And it's been a learning process. It's something I've been practicing for over a year, and I feel like now I really have it to a point where I really understand it, and I have kind of my own way. That's why I said I don't want to ruffle any Reiki feathers, right? And so if this is something that's interesting to you, or you're interested in learning more about, I call it a healing shift. You can learn more about it on my Instagram. I'll have my Instagram name on here. And I also just want to say, if there's something else you'd like to learn about, like a spirituality aspect or something else that's interesting to you, and you just want someone to explain it to you, please let me know in the comments below. Please share this with a friend if you think they'd be interested, and thank you for watching.